Good morning, Stefan Fischer here from All Off Road. I'm on my way to the desert again, the second time this year, but this trip will be quite a bit different. I'm catching up with a guy I've never met. I actually haven't met anyone in this group. That always has some risks, as I found out 2 years ago, because you never really know obviously how these guys operate. You never really know whether risk tolerance rise you on the same level, whether they have well prepared cars, and also whether you can as people match and like to travel together. So there's always a risk. And yeah, Steven, which I catch up now, we are in contact for probably a year or so via email, because he's not anywhere on social media, and he is also a very, very long time desert dweller. He is traveling the desert for many, many years and does a lot of research of the desert history in regards to the native wells, in regards to Rex Briggs or the general oil drilling history. And yeah, it's his trip, so I'm joining his trip, and yeah, we will see. So, getting ready for a remote desert trip, and my last video I mentioned that I don't think the rooftop lights are that crash hot, and that it's not just laser, that's really any light. And because we're going to do a lot of slow crawling cross country, I'm going to replace the driving lights, even though they haven't given me any temperature problems, but I'm going to replace them with my old Triple R. I was planning to replace them with my old Triple R light bar. But Lazer, after seeing the video, asked me whether I would like to run a linear light bar on the top, which apparently doesn't give much glare. And I said, yeah, look, I'll certainly try it and see whether that changes my mind. And these also should include the latest Lazer Triple R, which is brighter than the one I currently have. So let's have a look what is in here. Oh, ultra long range driving lamp. That is nice. So same size and everything than the previous Triple R, just a little bit brighter, I think. And then this is a linear slimline. So look, we will see. I mean, I'm always happy to get proven wrong, and maybe all the previous light bars I had on the roof just weren't the right bars. So I guess we shall see. So new light bars. The roof light bar, there's definitely no reflection from the bonnet at all, so that's pretty good. That's regular lights. I need a bit more testing. Cool. So, trying to find a camp spot here. That seems to be the lights definitely come in handy. I always try to support the rural businesses. However, $30 for a night on a super wetty ground, quite some space away from any facilities for a single stretcher is quite expensive. It's all a bit wet here. Let's come in handy. I have said these often over the past 2 years, that when I'm driving through outback New South Wales, and I say it again, it's as green as I have ever seen it. Mind you, we're in the third year of an El Niño. Penrose Park. The old train is still there. So I must have a little spot here at Penrose Park. Haven't been here for a while. It's around 20 k's out of Broken Hill, and I reckon a much better option to camp. I'm not a big fan of the Broken Hills caravan parks. This is pretty nice. They have new managers, all the animals are gone, but you still have good showers, and it's actually reasonably priced. So an unpowered camping site, last night I paid for 8 hours sleep, $30 at Nygan. Here Penrose Park, $10 unpowered, which I think that's very fair.
Beautiful.
When you stay at Penrose Park, make sure you visit Silverton, which is only a stone throw away. And for the evening, it's always great to drive to the Mungeranie lookout and watch the sunset. On the way back, I had another good chance to test the new light bars.
Regular high beam. Now I'm gonna put the front light on. That's a laser, the Triple R, the 1250. So that alone obviously is already quite a difference. I don't think as much difference as the Sentinel though, I have to say. So Triple R only. And now I'm gonna switch the roof light bar on in addition to it. So the glare from the bonnet is gone with the linear, and it certainly gives quite a bit illumination now to the left and right. That is actually very nice. Roof off, roof on. So I think that's a pretty good combination of both of them. Australia, here we are again. It's only been a few weeks since I last been here. Yeah, just some info for my overseas subscribers or watchers. Because if you're not from Australia, I don't think you really understand the dimensions here. So for a desert trip like I do now, I pretty much have to travel around 2,500 kilometers just to the start of the trip. So for example, in Europe, 2,500 kilometers would bring me through several countries and some kilometers to spare. Here in Australia, that is just to the start of the desert trip. And that obviously is one way. So 2,500 kilometers to the start of the trip and then another 2,500 kilometers back home. I have to say I'm really missing having my sidekicks with me. The last two desert trips I had either a summer, my daughter with me, or the year before, my son Kalen and my daughter summer. Yeah, and now I'm traveling here by myself. I'm obviously meeting up with some people, but yeah, I'm really missing have one of my kids with me or both of them. So once more at Farina. Very different this time. Last time I was here with the solar challenge. There was no green, no grass. So quite different now. I'm at the rear campground again. And there is not many people. There's one party. See where there's water in the creek? Oh, no. No water in the creek. Well, there would have been at some stage. Probably not too long ago. Funnily, I missed Stephen, Terry and Tony, who camped actually at the front campground in Farina. They were supposed to leave that day and already drive to Mungeranie, but decided to stay on because one of my text messages arrived only 2 days later and they couldn't see when it was sent. So we learned something here. Always use specific dates in text messages and not tomorrow. Because I sent these on the Saturday, yet Steve only received the message on a Sunday and thought I was running a day late, as the message does not actually tell him what day I sent it. I usually take my much lighter Austrail stretcher tent for desert trips. However, with the current weather conditions and a lot of rain around, I decided to take the Tent Bunker Pro, which has a more substantial fly and can cope with rain better, but also is a bit bulkier, heavier and a little more difficult to pack in. Early morning in Marree, just topped up again, only 20 liters, and now let's see whether I can get a coffee for the way and maybe some mozzie spray. Morning. Do you have mozzie spray?
Mozzie spray.
Yeah?
Mozzie spray, right?
Mozzie spray. Mosquito spray.
Spray, yeah, I guess so.
Thank you. That is what I want. Yeah, down a bit. And it's open. Which is good, always good to check. Not too far out from Marree is a little escarpment which overlooks Lake Harry. The ascent to the top is a little bit technical, but I thought I'd give it a go to admire the view. The rocky ascent is pretty steep and it has some pretty good holes in it where people spun tires. As you can see here, I lift up a little bit of front wheel. The drive up there was definitely worth it, as the view from up the hill is beautiful. Soon gonna come up to Cooper Creek. I don't think there's any water in. At the time when Tom Cruise did the mail runs here, sometimes that was completely flooded, and there is a bypass track here to the east, but that is on private station land, so that is not really open. I don't expect much issues here now, but we shall see. Otherwise, Birdsville track, I have to say, is in pretty good condition. You can easily sit on 80, 90, 100 even. I like to sit on 80, 90 just in case. There are a few dips and washouts, but yeah, pretty good condition. Yeah, I just received a text message from Stephen. I thought they are already at Mungeranie, but they just told me we're in Marree now, and that was
at 8:36, so we must have camped next to each other at Farina. But I think the original plan was to go to Mungeranie yesterday. So they are somewhere behind me, and yeah, I guess we're going to catch up there soon.
Looks like some people side of the road.
How are ya? You alright?
Oh, Stefan,
Yes.
how you going?
Good, yourself?
Yeah, well, thank you. I just didn't need you to slow down. I'm on 2 jacks to get it up.
Ah, okay, you alright?
I think so, mate. She's up now. I've almost got her off. So
What's the problem?
I've got a flat.
Ah.
I don't know what's caused it. Maybe a spare in there somewhere, but yeah.
Okay, you need a hand or you're alright?
Oh, always glad for your company, mate.
Yeah, just met Rex and his wife. Sorry, I forgot your name. Lovely people. Had a flat tire and on their Land Cruiser on their 70 series. Were advised by the tire shop to run 40 psi on these kind of roads. It is crazy. There is no obvious damage to the tire, but the rear was at least on, actually the other side was on 45, and that was cold because they're standing there for a while, so it probably would have been on 50. Just another example. You got to air down. If you don't air down, you increase the chances of something like this happen exponentially. I saw this beautiful bearded dragon next to the track. Usually when you stop and jump out, they are gone. But this one was pretty placid and let me film him. I filled up at Mungeranie, then I had lunch and later in the shower and was waiting for the boys. But they got my text message a day late and pretty much thought I was a day behind. So they pulled into Mungeranie and set up camp and were sitting in camp while I was sitting at the main hotel there and was waiting for them. Anyway, it gave me time to have a look at the old pool, which unfortunately is not longer in service.
Doesn't exist anymore. That's a pity. That used to be it.
Now check out that mozzies. That was the quickest shower I ever had. There they are. There are some mozzies galore. I don't know whether you can see that. Probably not. They're sitting all at the floor. Still. Vampires. After having set up camp for a while, the boys finally showed up at the hotel site and were quite surprised to see me standing there, as they only expected me the day after. This is Terry, then we have Tony and Steven. We acquainted ourselves and then had dinner at the Mungeranie pub and camped in our bush camp at the Mungeranie hotel. I saw the snake crossing behind me, so I stopped, had a quick look, and it looks like one of the venomous snakes in the world, the inland taipan. Obviously, I'm keeping a healthy distance here, but as long as you don't stand in front of them and block their exit, they usually just mind their own business and try to get away from you.
Not too often you see water over the Birdsville track.
The plan was that Mungeranie station was the last stop before we enter the desert via the Warburton track. The owner of the Mungeranie hotel said, look, it may be open, just give it a go and see how the track is and report back. However, the track turned out to be closed and locked with a gate. So, I'm not sure, I mean...
Alright, we'll carry on.
Copy that. Camel pie. So we drove into Birdsville to have another fuel top up. Unfortunately, the bakery was closed because it was Monday, so we made our way towards the desert.
So, Haven't run the Nitto for a long while, so we'll see how low I have to go. I'm gonna start with 15 hot, and then we will see how that goes. Thanks a lot for watching. This is it for episode 1. In the next episode we start the desert in earnest and have a few challenges to overcome. From getting stuck in clay pans to mechanical issues to stake tires. All in our epic adventure in the footsteps of Rex Briggs and the early oil exploration in the Simpson Desert. There are also a few more updates of gear I'm currently testing, so stay tuned and make sure you share, like and subscribe to get a notification when the next video is out. So guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please keep in mind this is a self-funded channel, so I would greatly appreciate if you could help me out by sharing, liking and subscribing. And if you can, please consider head over to Patreon or buy me a coffee, and with the equivalent of a cup of coffee or 2 per month you can really help me making these videos. Thanks a lot for watching and see you along the tracks.